Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are exploring something absolutely fascinating. It's this incredible intersection where traditional kitchen wisdom completely collides with modern medical science. We're talking about bitter gourd, often called Karela, and its genuinely amazing role as a natural remedy for managing diabetes. Seriously, if you've ever wondered how the food on your plate can literally alter your metabolic health, well, you are in the right place.
So, I want to kick things off by asking you a question that honestly sounds a bit like science fiction. Ready? Can a common, and let's be real, very bitter, vegetable actually mimic human biology? Like, can something that just grows out in a garden act like the insulin produced right inside your own pancreas? Hold on to that thought for a second, because the answer is going to completely change how you look at the produce aisle.
Okay, let's dive right into this. You see, for generations, bitter gourd has been this absolute kitchen staple in so many parts of the world. And yeah, it's definitely met with mixed feelings because of that super strong, polarizing taste. But here's the thing, it has officially crossed the bridge. It's gone from just being this kind of folk remedy to a potent, scientifically recognized tool for controlling blood sugar. It's not just a vegetable anymore, it's practically a botanical medicine cabinet.
Here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. First, the diabetes challenge. Second, Karela's secret weapons. Third, the scientific proof. Fourth, we'll look beyond blood sugar. Fifth, how to actually eat it. And finally, number 6, safety first.
All right, Section 1, the diabetes challenge. Let's understand the actual problem we're dealing with.
So as you probably know, there are two main types of diabetes. And while they both share the exact same consequence, uncontrolled glucose or sugar floating around in the blood, they get there in totally different ways. With type 1, it's an autoimmune response. Basically, the body's immune system mistakenly attacks its own insulin-producing cells right in the pancreas. That leads to an absolute deficiency, meaning these folks need lifelong insulin therapy. Now, on the flip side, type 2 is heavily influenced by lifestyle factors, things like diet and inactivity. In this case, the body either becomes incredibly resistant to the insulin it's already making, or just simply can't produce enough of it to keep up with demand. But in both of these scenarios, the body is just desperate for help regulating that vital blood sugar.
Moving on to Section 2, Karela's secret weapons. This is where we get into that bioactive power.
Let's zoom in and look at how Karela actually works at the microscopic level. Say hello to your first secret weapon, charantin. This is a natural bioactive compound found right inside the bitter gourd itself. And what charantin basically does is help lower your blood glucose by kind of waking up the body's cells. It makes them much more sensitive and receptive to insulin. Actually, think of it like this. It's like clearing the rust out of a sticky lock so the key can finally turn, unlocking the door to let all that glucose out of the bloodstream and into the cells where it actually belongs. Pretty brilliant, right?
Okay, and here is the answer to that wild question I asked at the very beginning. Bitter gourd contains this incredible thing called polypeptide-p. Guys, this is literally a plant-based, insulin-like compound. No joke, it actually mimics human insulin right inside your body. So when you eat it, polypeptide-p steps right up and directly helps regulate your glucose. It essentially acts as a natural botanical stand-in for the exact hormone your body might be lacking or, struggling to use properly. Honestly, it's just a stunning piece of biology.
Now, meet the third secret weapon. I like to call this the mechanical defense. Because beyond all those cool chemical compounds, bitter gourd is also absolutely packed with dietary fiber. Just look at the flow of how this works. Step 1, you eat the bitter gourd with your meal. Step 2, that high fiber content immediately gets to work in your gut. It acts as this physical barrier that literally slams the brakes on the digestion of carbohydrates. And step 3, because that digestion is slowed way down, the sugar from your food enters your bloodstream at this nice steady trickle instead of a massive overwhelming flood. This keeps your blood sugar completely stable and beautifully prevents those really dangerous post-meal spikes. It's a real game changer for sure.
So Section 3, the scientific proof. Let's look at the actual research backing this all up.
Now, we're definitely not just relying on old wives' tales or anecdotal claims here. The whole shebang is backed by some really rigorous scientific literature. For instance, the Journal of Ethnopharmacology published findings showing that bitter gourd extracts significantly reduced fasting blood sugar levels in patients with type 2 diabetes. That's huge.
Then, research over in the Asian Pacific Journal of Tropical Disease completely confirmed that both of our secret weapons, charantin and polypeptide-p, actively lower blood sugar just like our own insulin does. And, okay, perhaps most excitingly of all, animal studies are actually suggesting that bitter gourd might promote the regeneration of beta cells right in the pancreas. I mean, those are literally the exact cells responsible for producing insulin in the first place. Mind-blowing stuff.
All right, Section 4, Beyond Blood Sugar. Let's look at the broader, holistic health benefits.
Because here's the thing, bitter gourd is an absolute holistic powerhouse. First off, it is incredibly rich in antioxidants, so it's constantly fighting off oxidative stress and inflammation all over your body. It also strongly supports weight loss. Why? Because it's super low in calories, but packed with all that fiber we talked about, which keeps you feeling full and totally crushes those mid-afternoon cravings. Plus, it boosts your immune system by delivering a really heavy dose of vitamins A, C, and K. Oh, and it aids digestion, prevents constipation, and on top of literally all of that, it acts as a detoxifier to promote fantastic liver health. And we have to remember, having excellent metabolic health, a strong immune system, and good weight management, all of those things compound together to make managing diabetes significantly easier.
Which brings us to Section 5, How to Eat It. Let's talk about culinary uses for Karela.
Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I actually get this super bitter thing down? Well, if you want the absolute most potent, fast-acting hit, you can just blend fresh Karela with some water and a dash of lemon for a really quick morning juice. Fair warning, it's intense. But if you're looking for something a bit more savory, stir-frying it with really strong, bold flavors, think garlic, onions, and deep spices, that wonderfully masks and balances out that natural bitterness. You can even stuff it with spiced paneer or lentils to turn it into this amazing, hearty main dish. Or hey, if you just want something to graze on, you can slice it super thin and bake it into healthy, crunchy chips. You can even steep dried Karela in hot water for a really soothing, blood sugar-friendly herbal tea. Honestly, there's a method here for absolutely everyone's palate.
Moving to our final section, Section 6, Safety First. We've got to cover some precautions and side effects.
Look, this vegetable is incredibly powerful, which means moderation and actual medical guidance are absolutely required here. First up, there is a very real risk of hypoglycemia. Because Karela lowers blood sugar so effectively, if you combine it with your prescribed diabetes medication, it can actually drop your blood sugar way too low. You have to monitor your levels super carefully. Also, overconsuming it can lead to digestive discomfort, things like stomach cramps or diarrhea, which nobody wants. Very importantly, it is not recommended for pregnant women, as it has actually been known to trigger uterine contractions. And finally, if you happen to have allergies to the melon or squash family, definitely proceed with caution. The absolute golden rule here, always treat this as a powerful supplement to your doctor's advice and never ever an unmonitored replacement. So there you have it. We've covered the absolute cellular magic of charantin and polypeptide-p. We've looked at the hard scientific validation, and we've even explored the culinary possibilities. This humble, extremely bitter vegetable is honestly nothing short of a metabolic marvel. So the only question I have left for you is, how will you bring the power of plant-based insulin to your own plate? Start small, experiment with those flavors, have a chat with your doctor, and take a really proactive step towards your health today. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.